Against boredom even gods struggle in vain. Woman was God's second mistake. In letting God sit in judgment they judge themselves, in glorifying God they glorify themselves. There cannot be a God because if there were one, I could not believe that I was not he. Priests, these turkey cocks of God. Once spirit was God, then it became man, and now it is even becoming mob. When gods die, they always die many sorts of death. One should only question gods where none but gods can reply. We should be a mirror of being, we are God in miniature. Without music, life would be a mistake. I would only believe in a God who knew how to dance. There is not enough love and goodness in the world to permit giving any of it away to imaginary beings. Is man one of God's blunders? Or is God one of man's blunders? Everything good is the transmutation of something evil. Every God has a devil for a father. That God became man indicates only this, that man should not seek his salvation in eternity, but rather establish his heaven on earth. In every ascetic morality man worships a part of himself as God, and for that he needs to diabolize the other part. God is dead, but considering the state the species man is in, there will perhaps be caves, for ages yet, in which his shadow will be shown. A nation that still believes in itself holds fast to its own God. Christianity remains to this day the greatest misfortune of humanity. Perhaps man will rise ever higher as soon as he ceases to flow out into a God. How little it takes to make us happy. The sound of a bagpipe. Without music life would be a mistake. The German even imagines God as singing songs. We are, all of us, growing volcanoes that approach the hour of their eruption, but how near or distant that is, nobody knows, not even God. To live alone one must be an animal or a god, says Aristotle. There is yet a third case, one must be both, a philosopher. I cannot believe in a God who wants to be praised all the time. God is a thought which makes crooked all that is straight. Do not paint a picture either of God or the devil on your walls, this will ruin both your walls and the atmosphere. Away from God and gods did this will lure me, what would there be to create if gods existed? God, the immortality of the soul, salvation, the beyond, even as a child I had no time for such notions. I do not waste any time upon them, maybe I was never childish enough for that. God is a too palpably clumsy answer, an answer which shows a lack of delicacy towards us thinkers, fundamentally, even a crude prohibition to us, you shall not think. There is in general good reason to suppose that in several respects the gods could all benefit from instruction by us human beings. We humans are more humane. This eternal accusation against Christianity I shall write upon all walls, wherever walls are to be found. I have letters that even the blind will be able to see. I call Christianity the one great curse, the one great intrinsic depravity, the one great instinct of revenge, for which no means are venomous enough, or secret, subterranean and small enough. I call it the one immortal blemish upon the human race. When I was 12 years old, I thought up an odd trinity, namely, God the Father, God the Son, and God the Devil. My inference was that God, in contemplating himself, created the second person of the Godhead, but that, in order to be able to contemplate himself, he had to contemplate, and thus to create, his opposite. With this I began to do philosophy. God is dead. God remains dead. And we have killed him. Yet his shadow still looms. How shall we comfort ourselves, the murderers of all murderers? What was holiest and mightiest of all that the world has yet owned has bled to death under our knives. Who will wipe this blood off us? What water is there for us to clean ourselves? Even a man who makes the most modest pretensions to integrity must know that a theologian, a priest, a pope of today not only errs when he speaks, but actually lies, and that he no longer escapes blame for his lie through innocence or ignorance. The priest knows, as everyone knows, that there is no longer any God.